Welcome back, tribe. Today we're going to get into a topic that might get a lot of people angry, and that's the death of the middle class man, or better yet, average. If you know anything about being average today, it's actually horrendous. Average is pretty much a death sentence. You're invisible in society. Remember when being a decent guy with a steady job meant something? Those days are gone, like Blockbuster on a Friday night. Dead, buried, forgotten completely. The middle class isn't just shrinking, guys. It's being crushed from both ends like a soda can in a hydraulic press video. It's gotten so bad. Just look at how much men are struggling. Post-pandemic, cost of living increases, stagnant wages, dating, everything's horrible. Let me paint you a picture. So you could probably think of 30 years ago, a guy making $60K with benefits could afford a modest house, support a family, maybe take a vacation once a year. Not living large, but living, you know what I mean? Now, the same salary barely covers one-bedroom apartments in any city worth living. And forget about dating prospects. What the hell happened? Well, it's actually simple when you get into it. The economic middle got hollowed out faster than a pumpkin on Halloween. Automation eating jobs, outsourcing swallowing industries, inflation devouring purchase power. Your grandfather's factory job? That shit got shipped to Vietnam. Your father's middle management position? Replaced by software. The stable career path they promised you in college? That shit evaporated like a puddle in the desert, bro. And nobody warned you. The truth is there are only 3 economic classes for men. The elite, the servant class, and the forgotten. That comfortable middle, it's vanishing like an ice cube on a hot pavement. And we all feel it every single day. Let's break down what average gets you in 2025. An average salary means you're one medical emergency away from bankruptcy. 1. Not 2. 1. An average job means you're permanently replaceable. Not just by someone younger or hungrier, by an AI that doesn't need health insurance or bathroom breaks. An average education means you've got the same credentials as 10 million other guys, all fighting for the same shrinking pool of decent jobs. Average skills? Worthless. The market wants specialists now, experts, masters of their craft. Jack of all trades, master of none? Nobody's hiring that dude anymore. I know what you're thinking, but I'm doing okay. I've got a steady job. I pay my bills. Wake up, man. You're one corporate restructuring away from joining the gig economy. One outsourcing decision from delivering DoorDash in the car you can barely afford. The middle class isn't just disappearing economically, it's vanishing socially too. Especially for men. Especially after COVID. You think average gets you a decent dating life? Think again. Dating apps have created a sexual marketplace that's more ruthlessly stratified than fucking Wall Street today. Women aren't swiping right on average. They're not dreaming of a guy with a mediocre job and a dad bod. You feel this one personally. The algorithm has trained them to shop for men like they're browsing luxury brands. And the social implications are brutal, savage, unforgiving at times. Average height, you're invisible. Average income, invisible. Average looks, invisible. Average apartment, invisible. Average conversation skills, fucking invisible. In the past, being a dependable, hardworking guy with decent prospects made you marriage material. Now, it doesn't even make you hookup material. The sexual marketplace has become as polarized as the economy. Winners take all, losers get nothing. And the middle, they get breadcrumbed, led on, friend-zoned, kept as backups for when the exciting guy doesn't work out. Emergency options like the canned food in your pantry you only eat when there's nothing else. And social media made this shit so much worse, way worse than everybody expected. Every woman, regardless of her own status, is now bombarded with images of an elite lifestyle. Private jets, exotic vacations, designer everything. Their expectations have been systematically warped by algorithms designed to make everyone feel inadequate. You think your reliable Honda Accord and 2-bedroom apartment impresses anyone anymore? They don't. Not when your Instagram feed is full of infinity pools and champagne brunches. You're not competing with other average guys anymore. You're competing with an artificially created highlight reel of the top 1%. And you're losing badly. This isn't just whining. It's the data, hard numbers, the cold fucking reality. Look at the marriage rates, plummeting. Sexlessness among young men, skyrocketing. Male self-deletion rates, through the fucking roof. We've created a generation of men who work their asses off to maintain a standard of living that their grandparents would have considered a step backward. Men who do everything society told them to do, get educated, work hard, be respectful, only to discover the rules changed when they weren't looking. The economic and social systems no longer reward the middle. They extract from it, squeezed from above by elites who want cheaper labor, pressured from below by automation that's getting smarter every day. The middle class isn't disappearing by accident, guys. It's being systematically eliminated, and nobody's talking about it. What does this mean for you, the average guy? It means you have to adapt or die, economically and socially. Average is no longer sustainable, not as a career strategy, not as a dating strategy, not as a life strategy, period. The middle ground is collapsing, and if you're standing on it, you're going down with it. So you're probably now thinking like, fuck, Bo, what do I do? I'm average. Now what? Die slowly watching Netflix while the world passes you by? Nope, that shit's not an option, boys. We need to get something straight here. The system isn't designed for you anymore, period. There's no longer putting in 40 years at a company and retiring, like your grandpappy did, with pension and all. That's done with. But there's good news in some of this negativity. The system can be hacked. Always has been, always will be. And first things first, we have to specialize or die. And I'm being dead serious about this. The market doesn't reward generalists unless they're managing specialists. And even then, just barely. Find a niche where demand exceeds supply, then go all in. And I'm not talking halfway, man. You have to go all in. Coding, a bit risky with AI, but fine, let's use that as an example. Which specific language for which specific industry? Marketing, cool. But are you the absolute best at TikTok algorithm optimization for fitness brands? Sales, cool, fantastic, bro. Can you close $1 million enterprise security software deal? Do you see the pattern of what I'm talking about here? Narrow and deep beats wide and shallow every single time in this economy. But what if I picked the wrong specialty? You might be wondering that right now. Better to be elite in the wrong field than average in the right one. Elite skills transfer over, average ones never do. And the next brutal truth is your location might be killing you, financially and socially. Living in a dying Rust Belt city because that's where you grew up? Congratulations, you handcuffed yourself to a corpse. The economic gaps between thriving and declining cities aren't just widening, they're exploding like a supernova. But the cost of living is lower here. Yeah, and so are your opportunities, bro. Dating prospects and long-term property values. You're saving money on a depreciating lifestyle. That's not fucking smart. In geography, arbitrage works the other way too. Making San Francisco money while living in Boise? Now you're talking something real. Remote work made this possible for some industries. Take advantage before that window closes completely. And now about your social value. This is brutal honesty time. If you're invisible to women, it's not because they're shallow, although a lot of times they are. It's because you're not offering anything compelling. Is it harsh? Yes. True? Also yes. In the age of unlimited options, not having obvious flaws isn't enough. Not even close. What makes you stand out from the thousands of other profiles she could swipe through while she's taking a shit? Nothing? Then you're in trouble, man. The middle ground is gone here too. Women aren't searching for pretty good across the fucking board. They want men who are exceptional at something. Anything excellence is magnetic. Competency is sexy. Mastery is irresistible. But I'm a nice guy with a decent job. Congratulations, you met the absolute fucking minimum requirements for human interaction. You want a medal? That's like a restaurant advertising, our food probably won't poison you. Fucking inspiring, eh? Here's the secret that they don't tell you. Being exceptional at something creates a halo effect that improves how people perceive everything else about you. Women don't just want the successful photographer because of his income. They want him because of his expertise. It demonstrates passion, dedication, and competence. These qualities make panties drop faster than a Harvard acceptance letter. That was a joke. Nobody gives a fuck about Harvard today. And money matters a lot. Not just having it, but knowing how to leverage it. The middle class approach money all wrong. Save steadily, buy a house, contribute to your 401k, retire at 65. That shit worked great in 1975. It's financial suicide now. Inflation is eating your savings like termites in a wooden shack. Real estate prices in desirable areas have disconnected from local salaries completely. We're feeling this right now, and it gets worse day by day. And about that 401k, hope you enjoy cat food because that's what you'll be eating if you think it'll support you for a 30-year retirement. The new model, you have to build, leverage, and scale. Build skills that can generate value independently of an employer. Leverage debt strategically for assets that appreciate faster than inflation. And scale your income through multiple streams rather than a single salary. That's the master key for surviving in this world. Because the 9-to-5 job with benefits isn't security anymore. It's a slow bleed, a comfortable decline. Death by 1,000 direct deposits, if you will. But entrepreneurship is risky. Know what's riskier? Trusting your entire financial future to a company that would replace you with an AI or overseas contractor in a heartbeat. Thank you. Come again. Speaking of Speaking of risk, the biggest risk isn't failure. It's fucking mediocrity, guys. Failure is temporary. Oftentimes it'll educate you and necessary. Mediocrity is permanent, a slow motion tragedy that unfolds over decades while you tell yourself, things are fine, dude. Totally. It's okay. Things are fine. You're like that dog in that meme, the shit like everything's burning around them. And it's like, this is great. Everything's okay. Average men are disappearing from the fucking economy, from the dating pool, from society's consideration altogether. No one's coming to save you, and nobody cares that you're struggling. Average men are becoming economically irrelevant and socially invisible at the same damn time. Feeling that one yourself, so are millions of others. And you know that feeling when you walk into a room and nobody notices, when you speak and nobody really listens, or when you work your ass off and barely stay afloat? That's the tax on being average, and it's getting heavier every single year. And the solution isn't comfortable or easy or quick for that matter. It means becoming obsessed with something, anything, finding an intersection of your abilities, market demand, and genuine interest, then attacking it with the intensity of a starving fucking wolf. It means making sacrifices your friends wouldn't understand, passing on happy hours to build skills, investing instead of consuming, playing the long game when everyone else is chasing dopamine hits. It'll mean you have to ignore conventional wisdom because conventional wisdom produces conventional results, and conventional results don't cut it anymore. The uncomfortable truth, most men won't make this transition. That's brutally honest. They'll cling to the middle as it continues to collapse on them, and they'll blame the economy, women, society, anyone but themselves for their declining prospects. And they'll get more bitter, more invisible, more irrelevant. Don't be that guy, man. The elimination of the middle class isn't just an economic reality. It's an opportunity disguised as a crisis. When systems break down, new paths emerge. When old rules fail, new ones can be written by you, for you. The death of average isn't the death of opportunity. It's the birth of polarization. And in a polarized system, which side do you want to be on? This is why I say choose specialization over generalization. Choose creation over consumption. Choose excellence over adequacy. And choose comfort over stagnation. Because the alternative is watching your economic and social value erode year by year, dating prospect by dating prospect, paycheck by paycheck, until you wake up at 50 wondering what the hell happened to the life you thought you were building. This isn't pessimism, it's a call to action. The middle class is disappearing. Make sure you're not disappearing with it. And this is the brutal reality I want to share with you guys today, because I'm watching the economy undergo a transformation unlike ever before. And a lot of men are being left behind. We were also raised to think that the old model works. Go to school, get a job. After you graduate, work 40, 50 years, live 5 years and die with your little pension. There's hardly any jobs after college. Nobody cares about any of those degrees. Factories went overseas, manufacturing along with it. Everything has changed. We live in a service-based gig economy today. And unless you're specializing, like I said earlier, you will fall behind harder and harder. Why do you think trades are making a comeback in certain hotspots of the country? Companies are desperate to fill some of those positions, offering insane incentives depending on where you go. Start thinking about this stuff, guys. The last thing you want to do is get caught with your pants down during an economic downturn when you don't have the skills to survive one, because you're just a cog in the machine, easily replaceable, or they'll cut your entire division. And with the way tariffs and everything's going in the world today, that may come sooner than later. I hope this one helped guys understand a little bit about the issues men are facing in the middle class today, why it feels like it's getting harder and harder, and just a bunch of the stuff that a lot of us are going through. Hopefully this helped open your eyes a little bit and help you decide about where you'd like to go in the future and what to do, or at least get you thinking about it. As usual, boys, appreciate you for tuning in. Take care of yourselves. We'll see you on the next one.